Wham! Talk 1600. You're catching the drift. Conservative talk. Intelligent conversations on local, state, and national issues with Gary Wellings, chief editor of the Current newspaper and Current Online. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. And now, your host, Gary Wellings.
Derek, have you seen Gary anywhere?
No, I haven't.
Oh, man. Okay, well, it's a good thing Alex Wassell showed up. Gee whiz. Hey, welcome to the Drift Radio Show. Good afternoon. It's Saturday. You knew that already. It's 1 o'clock. You probably knew that, too, unless you were listening on Spreaker, SoundCloud, at thedailydrift.com, where we keep the audio archives of the show. And speaking of thedailydrift.com, that's where you need to go for, Alex?
For the news you need to know.
Excellent. Thank you. So, welcome to the show. Once again, Alex Wassell is sitting in for me while I'm sitting in for Gary. And you need to find Alex Wassell on Facebook and friend him. He's a good guy. And so before we get started, I want to tell you about one of our advertisers in the Current newspaper. It's Sutton Barn at Rolling Meadows Golf Course. This is where you need to be going to hold your next event. You want to impress your friends. You just want to have a good experience, have nothing go wrong, have everything go well, not have to do a lot of work yourself, setting up that tent, putting out the chairs, worrying about the catering and all that. No, let Sutton Barn do that for you. That's what they're good at, and it's a wonderful experience there. They've got a rustic appearance there. They got the Stone Cellar patio, the Pavilion Park. They've even got the golf course there that they're part of. So if you want golfing to be part of your outing, then do that. When you want to get out for a reception, a wedding reception, business luncheon, a corporate dinner, you need to do something with a bunch of people and have it be a nice experience, you need to go to the Sutton Barn at Rolling Meadows Golf Course. That's at 6484 Sutton Road, Whitmore Lake, Michigan. And you can call them at 734-662-5144. That's 734-662-5144. That's suttonbarn.com. It's another place you can go. Or if you forget all that, just remember anything we talk about is usually on thedailydrift.com or at Current Online, Courant, online.com. So, excellent. Alex, welcome back. You got a lot of positive likes the last time you were on here, and Gary thought so too, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to helping you out, Ed. We've known each other for a long time, and I think we get along pretty well, and we're basically on the same page of the hymn book here.
Yeah, excellent. And that would be the right side of the hymn book, right? The right side of the hymn book.
Yes, the correct side.
Okay. Well, speaking of sides, one of the things I wanted to talk about today was, we talk about the news that you find on thedailydrift.com. That's one of the givens here, and we have a number of articles that actually fed into this theme I wanted to talk about today, and that is the Civil War that we currently find ourselves in. And I thought about this, Alex. Actually, I came up with this theme sort of in an offhand way the last time you were on air. So it's not like I'm just constantly on this or, harping on it. And should you have any, as a listener in the audience, should you have any comments concerning the topic that we're discussing, then please feel free to call in, 734-822-1600. Remember, we're on Wham 1600 here, which might soon be also Wham 82.1 or Wham 93.4. Who knows? We're going to be FM soon. But, there's more to go on that. And before that can be fully implemented, we need to keep contributing. Alex, you said you were pumping some money in this today. Am I putting you on the line?
Well, you said I couldn't come on unless I donated.
Well, okay. You didn't have to tell everybody that, but if they heard that would be fine. Yeah. So yeah, you're a grand contributor. You're joining the rest of us in supporting the GoFundMe. You go to GoFundMe.com and you search for Wham and you pitch in some money to get the message out.
Well, I think it's really important that people do contribute because this station provides a great service of giving news and information from the conservative, or shall I say, the correct side.
Yes, the right side.
The right side of the issues, and hopefully will help people understand the issues better.
Speaking of a venue for people to speak on issues, we got Joe from Wyandotte. Let's hear from Joe. Derek, would you let us hear from Joe? You know, I like to hang up. I don't like to, but I end up hanging up on Joe.
Yes, you do, and I'm certainly not convinced it's accidental.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to talk about modern Civil War, but because I wanted to touch on real quick the last Trump press conference with the angel parents.
Mm-hmm. Sure, that's going to fit in with the last half of our show, but you just go right ahead and jump to the head of the line.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, usually we are on the same page, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
So, but that was very good, and I was actually surprised. I clicked over to CNN and MSNBC to see if they were carrying it, and they were. Real surprising. And, you know, just take Trump out of the equation, because there are people, of course, who just love Trump or people who hate Trump. But if we could put that press conference, editing him out in front of people, people really need to hear what those people had to say. And several of them were legal immigrants themselves, and their children were killed by illegal immigrants.
Tell us who the angel moms are. Say something quick about. Define the angel moms for our audience.
Yeah, angel moms or angel parents is the term that's been given to families who have had illegal aliens kill or maim or wound or whatever, usually mainly killed one of their family members.
Separating them from their family members is what you're saying, right?
Yes,
okay.
A permanent separation.
Yes.
As the one guy said, I have to visit my son at the cemetery. That's how separated I am.
Mm-hmm. Like Kate Steinley's law. Yep, that hasn't happened. Yeah.
Exactly. And a woman from Guatemala also legally immigrated, her child killed by an illegal.
Joe, did you have anything particularly you wanted to say about that? Like I said, there was an audio clip of the angel moms that I actually left out because I got so much audio today that I left that out. But go ahead and say what you wanted to say about this.
Well, if people get a chance, if you go to YouTube, the White House channel, you can find that press conference if you didn't see it yourself, because it was on at like 2 in the afternoon. A lot of people didn't see it. You really need to see it and hear what these people had to say. Like you said, they are permanently separated from their children. And what about their kids' dreams?
Okay, yep. I did see some of that. I saw a clip of one of the Angel Tree, I'm sorry, wrong charity. Angel Moms at a press conference with Trump. There was a clip, and she was speaking out, and it was very good. And that's the clip I had hoped to play, but I didn't have time for it.
You know, like Debbie Stabenow, stop protecting illegals. How about time to start protecting American citizens? Stabenow has to go.
She has to go. Yes, absolutely. We're all agreed there.
My friend. Love you.
Hey, love you too, Joe. Thanks for calling in. Talk to you later. So, like Joe, you can call in with your opinion, your wisdom, your insight. That's 734-822-1600. 1600. That's sort of like the AM frequency we're on, right? Wow, I just put that together. All right, folks. So, we're going to listen right now to a clip from Milt Logically Speaking. If you listen to the Abolitionist Roundtable in the morning, you will hear clips from Milt Logically Speaking. But I want to replay this real quick. Derek?
I'm Milt, and this is Logically Speaking Uncensored. Diversity is not our strength. It is our destruction. The most important word in the naming of the United States is united. Prioritizing this word was no accident because the founding fathers knew that a divided people or nation could not stand. Diversity means to divide, segregate, and separate. It is obvious that a divided nation is a weak nation. However, those seeking the destruction of the United States promote diversity as our strength. On November 19, 1863, in his Gettysburg Address, when he said, 87 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield. It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great tasks remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we hear how it resolved that these dead should not have died in vain, that this nation under God should have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, should not perish from the earth. I am Milt, logically speaking, uncensored, saying, think about it.
I was surprised when I heard that this morning because it fed right into the theme that I had for the show today, which is the fact that we are in the middle of a civil war. Now, a while back in January, a guy named Jeff Greenfield spoke on the modern Civil War. And Alex is going to read this to us, a brief excerpt from his speech.
Okay. How does civil wars happen? Two or more sides disagree on who runs the country, and they can't settle the question through elections because they don't even agree that elections are how you decide who's in charge. That's the basic issue here. Who decides who runs the country? When you hate each other but accept the election's results, you have a country. When you stop accepting election results, you have a countdown to civil war. The Mueller investigation is about removing President Trump from office and overturning the results of an election. We all know that. But it's not the first time they've done this. The first time a Republican president was elected this century, they said he didn't really win. The Supreme Court gave him the election. There's a pattern here. What do sure odds of the Democrats rejecting the next Republican president really mean? It means they don't accept the results of any election that they don't win. It means they don't believe that transfers of power in this country are determined by elections. And that is civil war.
Yeah. And I apologize. There was a typo in there, and you got stuck by it, and it wasn't the way you read. And I like your stentorian voice. You belong in the Senate.
Well, thank you.
As an orator. So that's a civil war. Well, what do you do in a civil war? So you got a civil war, and two sides are fighting each other. The goal is to take the Capitol, right? Well, November 8th, was it, 2016? We took the Capitol.
Amen.
We took the Capitol. However, there are some insurgents holding out. There are people who are wanting to hold on to the power and resist the takeover of the Capitol. And I think that's how we need to phrase this, how we need to, what's the word? I don't know, it's a word. But we need to show this in such a way that it's not just the swamp. It's not just a bunch of people resistant to Donald Trump as president. They are resistant to us who elected Donald Trump as president. And they somehow or other think that they're the majority because the majority of the media supports that position, them. But what we face right now is a